In the 1990s, Rachel and Molly were full-blown goths. One Friday night, Molly calls Rachel to go hang out in the cemetery. And eventually Molly's car rolls down the street and Rachel immediately recognizes that Molly is the only one in the car. They were always there with a group of at least 4 people. Molly said, "Oh no, it's just us two. I hope that's okay." Molly takes off from Rachel's house and she makes the commute to the front gate of this enormous cemetery that sits right in the center of town. And then the girls get out of the car and they walk down this hill where this big rock and tree is. After a while, the girls started to smell a bonfire, and from where they were sitting, their view is pretty obscured out of this little valley they're in. They think, okay, this is probably a good time to leave because at least you're gonna be here, see our car, and they're gonna ask us what we're doing, and we're gonna have to leave. When they get about halfway up the hill, they noticed something bright, and what they were seeing was the top of a bonfire. Molly picks up on this, and she says to Rachel, let's sneak back down and walk up their hill and look down and see who's here. I bet it's a bunch of college kids. But despite Rachel's hesitations, she is intrigued. They only get a few steps up this hill when they are suddenly hit with this disgusting, putrid smell, and Rachel exclaims, "Oh my God, what is that?" And then as soon as she says it, she realizes she was really loud, and they both freeze. After a little bit of silence, Molly's like, "Want to keep going?" And Rachel's like, "No." The two girls begin walking back, and they're about to walk up the hill that's going to bring them to their car when Rachel just turns around to look at the hill towards the fire. And standing at the top of that hill is a man just looking down at them. And so they felt like they had almost been caught red-handed. Molly and Rachel just turn and begin walking up the hill. They move a few more steps up this hill, and Rachel looks again at where this guy was standing, and he's now gone. And Rachel's relieved, but then she realizes he's gone because he's power walking down the hill towards them. And they start running up the hill, and Rachel looks around, and now this guy is running towards them. He's gaining on them. They sprint up over the top. They run to Molly's car. Finally, she gets it open, and they both jump inside. Rachel locks the car doors, and sure enough, as they pull off, she sees his head come up over the ridgeline just enough that he can clearly see them leaving, and then he ducks back down and he disappears. The next morning, Rachel gets up, and she heads down to the kitchen, and all of a sudden, her mom, it's like she has this epiphany, and she goes, Rachel, did you hear what happened last night? Someone I work with. I don't know her personally, but she works in the same building as me. She got kidnapped from the parking garage. The person who had kidnapped her had killed her and then tried to dispose of her body at the cemetery by burning her in a bonfire." Rachel immediately pours her heart out about everything that happened the night before, and her mom is totally horrified. "You and Molly have to go to the police station and make a statement. They have not caught this person yet." They agree. They go down to the police station and they tell them what happened, but they didn't get a great look at him. They could only say that he was maybe in his 40s and maybe average height, but luckily within 48 hours the police actually caught this guy because he was driving around in the murder victim's car and someone spotted him. They pulled him over and he confessed. He went to jail.